All right, class. So today we're going to do some 2-point perspective boxes. All right, we've already learned 1-point perspective, and a lot of the things are the same with 2-point perspective, with just some important changes. All right, so I'm going to start off again creating my horizon line. So I'm going to place my T-square or ruler or straight edge on the paper, and I'm going to draw a line. Again, I like to go slightly above center. For myself, that's my personal preference. I'm going to draw my line. I want to make sure that my horizon line is parallel to the top and bottom of my drawing paper. It's nice and straight. All right, there's my horizon line. So instead of one vanishing point, 2-point perspective would mean that there's two vanishing points. That's what it refers to. So I'm going to separate my two vanishing points. I like to have a little bit of space between them. It makes things look a little bit more natural and less distorted. So for me, I'm going to put my two vanishing points. Now remember, your vanishing points must be on the horizon line. That's a rule, right? So I got my two vanishing points on my horizon line. Next, I'm going to draw a single vertical line. All right, this is going to represent the corner of my box. So I'm going to put a single vertical line straight up and down parallel to the sides of my paper below my horizon line for this one, okay? Single vertical line. Now, I am going to go from the top and bottom of this line back to my vanishing points, okay? So using my straight edge, I'm going to line it up from the top of my line to my first vanishing point over here. All right. Now, I'm going to go from the top of my line to this vanishing point on the other side, to the second vanishing point. Okay. Now, these are my guidelines. If you remember from when we did 1-point perspective, we had guidelines. That's what these are. All right, now I'm going to connect the bottom of my line from the bottom to vanishing point 1, from the bottom of my line to vanishing point 2. All right. Now, I'm going to place two more vertical lines within my guidelines here. All right, this will determine how large your box is. So for this first one, I'm going to place a line in my guidelines right here, straight up and down. You want to make sure it's parallel to the sides of the paper. Okay. On the other side, I'm going to place another line, straight up and down, parallel to the sides of my paper. Now, this line is already connected to the bottom, over there. I have to connect the top lines, okay? So I'm going to go back top of this line, back to this vanishing point, cut all the way across, and from this vanishing point to the top of this line, making sure I line things up properly. With perspective, it's really important that your lines are accurate, or else things will look very askew. All right, so here's my box in 2-point perspective. Now, in the past, with 1-point perspective, we had horizontal lines that had to match the top and the bottom of our paper. Those are now gone. Now those lines are going to the vanishing points. The only thing that remains parallel to the to the paper, is the vertical lines remaining parallel to the sides of the paper. All right, now I'm going to put my light source here, and I'm going to shade the back and side of my box. I'm going to leave the top empty. All right, and I will do that, and I'll put that as an example either in another video, or I'll just show you the finished example, okay? Let's put another box. All right, so I have my guidelines. They're already set. I'm going to stay within these guidelines for now for the next box, just to keep things simple. All right, and I'm going to draw a straight up and down line here. I'm going to slide my straight edge, put another straight up and down line. I am going to connect the tops of those lines to this vanishing point. Connect the top of this line to this vanishing point. All All right, you can see the box starting to come together. Now where this intersects, these two guidelines, I'm going to have to draw another line straight up and down. Might have to do some erasing if I go over. All right. And now I'm going to connect the bottom of this line to this vanishing point. And there is my second box in 2-point perspective. And I'll clean up those lines in a moment. Now let's just put a box not using these guidelines. Let's start from scratch for our last one. Okay. So again, I'm going to draw a straight line. Let's go above. All right. So I'm going to put a straight line right here, straight up and down, parallel to the sides of my paper. I'm going to connect the tops and bottoms of that line, top and bottom. Again, if you have a ruler, that's great. If you don't have a ruler, you could use the edge of a book or any kind of a straight edge. Ruler is preferable. So, and you see that I'm being careful. I'm lining things up. I'm making sure that I'm connecting it to the vanishing points. All right? Accuracy, again, is important. All right. Now I am going to draw another vertical line to symbolize the end of the box right here. Another vertical line here. And I'm going to connect the bottom of those two lines to the vanishing points as well. And that will finish up my box. One, and then back from here to here. Two, and there is my floating box in 2-point perspective. All right, I'm going to label this and shade it and share it with you. Hopefully you can figure out how to do 2-point perspective easily from what I've shown you here. All right, guys, thank you.